Welcome back. As we review the year 2017, we've been looking at politics and having a very interesting conversation about how our politics has been shaped in the last in the last 1 year, 365 days. But I'm going to throw the question back to Mr. Shehu. We had asked you about the list of appointments that the president has made in the last couple of days, and we talked about the number of people that we saw on that list that came out on Friday, and you had started talking about the economy and some of the gains that the party was making. Let's look at the veracity of the list and some of the names that are on it. Are you aware that some people have said that that list isn't all that it should be? Tell us.
Yeah, the big issue there that the media, especially the social media, had made of it is, of course, that some had died. And
did the media make that up? Have some truly died? That's the question tonight.
Yes. Of course, yes. We are not denying that. And that means that that tells you that that list itself was not a now list.
I'm sorry, could you explain what you mean? What do you mean it wasn't a now list?
Because it was put together in 2015. Received from the states of the country through the party headquarters by the office of the Secretary to the government. The then Secretary to the government put up a team and they worked on it and they put together these appointments and handed over to the presidency in October 2016. So when it was handed in and the governors were unhappy about it and they said they were not carried along. And so therefore, the president said, okay, he put up another panel chaired by His Excellency the Vice President, Professor Oshibanjo, and asked governors to come around him and party leaders to come and look at it all over again. And we had this reviewed, and it was presented early in January, at a time when the president himself had his own challenges. And so therefore, it wasn't acted upon at that time. Now, I think what happened lately was that someone was simply asked to go and release that list. And perhaps someone acted mechanistically, and then they just let it go. And so therefore, we admit that this is a mistake, and corrections will be made. And I think that this is nothing extraordinary. In any case, this is a list of about 1,300 names, as you said yourself.
I doubt people will agree with you that it's not extraordinary to find that sort of thing, ain't it?
5 people on a list dead already, and you say someone just went ahead to release the list without checking through. Then there is that concern about how much of attention to details this government does.
As I said, this essentially was less than 0.5% in terms of error. In the realm of human beings, perfection is absent. Obviously, mistakes will be made. And in any case, just wait for what will follow. And I'm sure in the course of the coming days, in fact, some people might even sue. And they will go to court challenging eligibility of some people. That is in the nature of politics.
Okay,
so the thing
Mr. Shehu, before we go on, let's look at something else, because we're going to go on a quick break in the next 1 or 2 minutes. The issue of Maina, Abdul Rashid Maina, how did that come about? Is it a question of checks and balances?
Another mechanical issue?
Would you? I would have thought that the National Assembly would have been the best, to ask this question, because they had an in-depth investigation into what happened and why it happened. And I believe that they're in the process of putting together their own report, and they'll be advising government on what to do.
No, we asked this question because Mr. Maina, in a video he made exclusively available to Channels TV, he actually said the president was aware of his meeting with the Attorney General. So
who would you want to believe? That somebody in...
That's why we're asking you can clarify.
Well, I think that the question is a redundant question, because this is not the kind of president we have. This is not somebody who is into insider deals with suspected criminals. That's not Buhari. So I think that they should find another explanation for what happened.
Who do you say should find another explanation? We should, or we asking you so that you can clarify? Because if he says that the president...
I'm saying that the president we have is not the kind of president that will get involved in deals with the fugitives. And that Maina is one, is a fugitive. And then knowing, as I said, the president that we have, the answer, Maina's claim would simply have been dismissed as being ridiculous because it simply cannot be sustained.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Shehu. We'll be back in a moment to continue this conversation. Please do not go away.